The Starwatcher. In the twilight of the world, when the ancient stones still whispered the tales of forgotten gods, there lived a man known only as the Starwatcher. His true name had been lost to time, but his presence was a constant in the lives of those who dared to wander the barren lands where he made his home. He was as old as the mountains, they said, his hair white as the first snow, his eyes deep as the void between the stars. The Starwatcher lived alone atop a jagged peak that pierced the sky like an old, forgotten spear. The mountain, known as Vortal, was a place of desolation and beauty, where the winds sang mournful songs and the earth was scarred by ancient wars. No one remembered who first carved the steps that led to the Starwatcher's abode, but they wound up the mountain like the spirals of time itself. In the village of Althea, at the base of the mountain, the elders spoke of the Starwatcher with reverence and fear. They believed he was the last of the old ones, a remnant of an age when the world was young, and the heavens danced to the music of creation. The children, however, were not so easily convinced. They imagined him as a myth, a story to frighten them into obedience. But deep down, they all knew that one day, they would have to climb the steps and seek his counsel, for it was said that the Starwatcher held the knowledge of the cosmos within his mind. One such child, now grown, was named Irwin. She had heard the stories of the Starwatcher all her life, and had seen the silhouette of his figure etched against the night sky on the rare occasions when the village fires dimmed. But she had never believed, not truly, until the dreams began. They started as whispers in her sleep, words that she could not understand but that filled her with a strange yearning. Night after night, the dreams grew more vivid, showing her visions of the stars in patterns she had never seen, constellations that moved and breathed as if alive. And always, in the center of it all, was the mountain, Vortal, calling to her. Irwin could not ignore the call any longer. She packed what little she had and began the climb. The villagers watched in silence as she passed, their eyes filled with a mix of pity and hope. Some had made the climb before her, seeking answers, guidance, or redemption, but few had returned, and those who did were never the same. The journey was treacherous, the air grew thin as she ascended, and the winds howled like vengeful spirits. The steps were ancient, crumbling beneath her feet, and more than once she nearly lost her footing. But the pull of the mountain of the Starwatcher was stronger than her fear. As she climbed, the world below faded away, replaced by the vastness of the sky above. The stars seemed closer here, almost within reach, and they shimmered with a cold, distant light. Irwin felt small, insignificant, but also strangely comforted, as if she were a part of something much greater. Finally, after what felt like days, she reached the summit. The Starwatcher's home was a simple stone structure, weathered by time and the elements, standing at the very edge of the world. The Starwatcher himself was seated on a slab of rock, his back to her, gazing out into the infinite expanse of the cosmos. He did not turn as she approached, but spoke in a voice that was both ancient and timeless. "You have come far, Irwin," he said. "I have watched your journey." Irwin was not surprised that he knew her name. The dreams had prepared her for this moment, though she still felt a shiver of awe at the sound of his voice. "Why have you called me?" she asked, her voice barely more than a whisper. The Starwatcher finally turned to face her. His eyes were like the night sky, filled with stars that twinkled and danced in patterns she could not comprehend. He was both terrifying and beautiful, a being out of time. "The stars have whispered your name to me," he said, "and they have shown me a path that only you can walk. The world is changing, Irwin. The old ways are fading, and the balance is shifting. Darkness gathers at the edges of the world, and soon it will seek to consume all that is light." Irwin's heart pounded in her chest. She had heard tales of the darkness in her dreams, seen glimpses of it in the night sky. But she had never imagined it was real. "What must I do?" she asked, her voice trembling. The Starwatcher rose to his feet, his movements slow and deliberate, as if he carried the weight of countless centuries on his shoulders. He gestured to the sky, where the stars swirled in a grand celestial dance. "You must seek the lost star," he said. "It is the key to restoring the balance. But be warned, the journey will not be easy. You will face trials that will test your very soul, and you may not survive. But if you succeed, you will save not just this world, but all worlds." Irwin looked up at the sky, at the infinite expanse of stars. She felt a chill run through her as she realized the enormity of the task before her. But she also felt a strange sense of purpose, a calling that she could not deny. "I will do it," she said, her voice steady. "I will find the lost star." The Starwatcher nodded, a hint of a smile on his ancient face. He reached into his robe and pulled out a small, glowing crystal. It pulsed with a soft, inner light like a heartbeat. "This will guide you," he said, placing the crystal in her hand, But remember, the stars can only show you the way. It is you who must walk the path. Irwin felt the warmth of the crystal in her hand, and for the first time, she felt a glimmer of hope. The Starwatcher turned back to the sky, his gaze distant. "Go now, Irwin," he said, "and may the stars watch over you." With the crystal in hand, Irwin began her descent down the mountain, her heart filled with determination. She knew the road ahead would be long and perilous, but she also knew that she was not alone. The stars were with her, and so was the Starwatcher. And so, with the light of the lost star to guide her, Irwin set out on her journey, a journey that would take her to the very edges of the universe and beyond, to face the darkness and bring light to the world once more. The Starwatcher remained on his rocky throne, watching the stars as they wheeled above. He had seen countless souls pass through his mountain, but Irwin was different. She was the one the stars had spoken of, the one who could change the course of destiny. As he watched her figure disappear into the distance, the Starwatcher allowed himself a moment of peace. The stars sang to him, their ancient song of comfort in the endless night, for he knew that no matter what happened, no matter how dark the world became, the stars would endure, and their light would always find a way to shine through. And so he waited, as he had always waited, watching, listening, until the end of time itself. The story ends here, with the Starwatcher continuing his eternal vigil and Irwin beginning a journey that would shape the fate of worlds. The stars continue to watch over all, their light a beacon in the vast, dark night.